Unit 3, Learning Target Number 10. Write and solve one-step equations from real-world problems using fractions. The process for solving fraction equations is exactly the same as it is for solving regular equations. 1, we get the variable by itself. 2, we use inverse operations to do that. And 3, whatever we do to the left side, we have to do to the right side. So let's take an example here of solving a fraction equation involving addition. Since we want to get f all by itself, we have to first use inverse operations. The inverse of addition is subtraction, so we will subtract 2/3 from this side. That will allow us to scratch right through here and leave us with f. F is going to be equal then to 1 1/9 minus, because we have to do to the right side whatever we do to the left side, equal to 1 1/9 minus 2/3. Now let's solve that off to the side using some extra scratch work. The first thing we'll do is convert this mixed number to an improper fraction. 1 times 9 is 9, plus 1 is 10, so that gives us 10/9 minus 2/3. And to do that, what we'll do is make sure to get a common denominator. So we could just, again, multiply both of these guys by both sides, 9 times the right side and 3 times the left side, but an easier way presents itself in that we know that 3 goes into 9. How many times does it go into 9? It goes 3 times, so we'll multiply the top and the bottom of this side by 3. That's going to give us 10/9 minus 2 times 3 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. 10/9 minus 6/9, we have a common denominator, so we'll bring that over, we'll subtract across the top, and that gives us 4/9, which does not simplify. So our answer is 4/9. Now we would want to check that, so we can plug in 4/9 over here. 4/9 plus 2/3, and let's do that really quickly. 4/9 plus 2/3. Again, we'll multiply both top and bottom by 3 to get our common denominator, which will give us 4/9 plus 6/9, and that gives us 10/9, or 1 1/9, just like it is over here. Now let's solve an equation using subtraction of fractions. Here we have m minus 2 1/3 is equal to 1 1/2. First thing we need to do is get m all by himself. To do that, we use inverse operations. So the inverse of subtraction is addition. We're going to add 2 1/3 over here, which means we'll also add 2 1/3 over here. 2 1/3. And then we'll work that out off to the side. Now, first thing we'll do is convert this, since we have to add these together, convert this to a mixed number. Convert this to an improper fraction. 1 times 2 is 2, plus 1 is 3. That gives us 3/2. Plus, then we convert this to an improper fraction. 2 times 3 is 6, plus 1 is 7. That gives us 7/3. And now we have to find our common denominator. Well, 2 times 3 is 6, so we'll just use our trick to multiply both sides by the number on the top and the bottom. So 3 on the top and on the bottom, 3/3, which remember is 1, so it doesn't change anything. 1 over here, and then we'll multiply 2 over here, and that gives us 1 on this side. And then we'll work it out to get our common denominator. 3 times 2 is 6. 3 times 3 is 9. Over here, 3 times 2 is 6. 2 times 7 is 14. We have the same denominator, so we'll simply bring that over and add these two together, which gives us 23. 6 under 23. Now that can be converted to a mixed number, and so we'll do that. 6 goes into 23 how many times? Just shy of 4. 6 times 3 is 18. 23 minus 18 is 5, so that leaves us with 3 5/6. So our answer here is, these cross out, m is equal to 3 5/6. Now we can check that. However, to keep this video kind of short, I'll let you do the checking. 3 5/6 is the value we'll substitute in for m, and then we'll subtract 2 1/3 and see if that gives us 1 1/2. Alright, let's move on to multiplication. In this case, we have 1/4 times d is equal to 2. Now, once again, we just have to get d all by himself, make him lonely. To do that, we use inverse operations. And what is the inverse of multiplication? Because this is simply multiplying d and 1/4. What is the inverse of multiplication? It is division. So we'll have to divide by 1/4 on this side. And whatever we do to the left side, we also have to do to the right side. So we have to divide by 1/4 on this side. These cancel out to give us just 1, because 1/4 divided by 1/4 is just 1. And 1 times d is just d. Now, on this side we have a little bit more work. We'll do 2 divided by 1/4. Now remember, this is really just 2 over 1. So we'll just do our division. And remember, KCF, keep, change, flip. So we'll keep the first fraction, 2 over 1. We'll change the division to multiplication. And we'll flip our second fraction and make it into 4 over 1. And that gives us the ability to just multiply across the top and the bottom. So we get 8 over 1, and that is simply 8. Our answer for D is 8. And we plug that in to check it out. So let's check our answer. 8 times 1/4. So we'll add our 1 underneath here, and we'll just multiply across the top and the bottom. That gives us 8 over 4, which is 2, and that is our answer, and our answer checks. Now let's take a look at an equation that involves division. In this case, we have x being divided by 1/3, and that is equal to 2/3. Once again, our process is the same. We have to get x all by itself. Now x is being divided by a number, so the inverse operation of division is multiplication. What we have to do then is multiply the top times whatever is on the bottom. Use our inverse operation to multiply 1/3 by 1/3. These cancel out. They give us just 1. 1/3 divided by 1/3 is 1. And 1 times x is just x. Now, on this side, because whatever we do to the left side, we also have to do to the right, we have to multiply by 1/3 over here. And that is a very simple thing. We multiply across the top and the bottom, and that gives us 2/9. So our answer is x is equal to 2/9.